Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
So, guys, thank you so much for talking to me. I'm Rajat from latestly.com. And
Hi.
how are you? How are you all doing during the lockdown? I think no conversation starts without this mega question these days.
Yeah. I'm doing spectacularly. I'm
Okay.
loving at least the last week onwards. Otherwise, it was a blur, but things are going very well right now.
Your hair is
Can't
different.
complain.
Your hair is
I
Karanvir, for
different.
you?
did. I
Did you cut it
spent
yourself?
half an hour. No, this I cut myself, but like I styled it and all. I'm grown up.
But good, in case
Adulting.
you move from movies, you can move into cutting hair from acting.
Yeah, like I can just like vlog and become a tutorial
Yeah.
person.
Oh, that's
You
fine.
getting into Monica Dogra's character of a stylist.
Yeah, she's fallen in love with Monica, I think.
I've fallen in
Yeah,
love with everyone.
clearly.
Learn something from Karanvir. Why don't you do your hair like mine? She's already doing Monica. You should be doing my hair.
I I would love to do it, but I'm just so afraid of like cutting my hair. It's just I'm paranoid.
Come, we'll go on video call. I'll help you. I'll guide you.
Yeah. Like if someone gives me
And then you can
instructions how to do
blink.
it, I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, Rajat. Sorry to answer your question. Yeah, the lockdown. Well, since the past 1 month, we've been quite occupied in terms of marketing the film and making sure that it reaches to the right audience. So yeah, in that sense, the last month has been a little productive. But before that, it was a dead end. Like there wasn't anything moving, wasn't anything happening like in terms of work. So yeah, I've just been watching a lot of stuff, like trying to read something here and there. But like since the past 1 month, it's just been what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the
Okay.
odds? So yeah, just on roll right now.
Okay. And Abhay, you?
Sorry, did I cut Yash's answer down?
No. I would go on for years.
Sorry, did I cut your answer?
No.
Yeah. I've actually had a really good lockdown, and I live in Goa, so it's been a green zone since the 20th of April, and yeah, so I've been cycling and swimming and just really active, and just
Making
blessing
all
my.
of us jealous.
Yeah, I'm so jealous right now.
I've been sending videos of the sunset and the trees and
Yeah.
Being in the pool.
just
It's
to
like whenever we're having a conversation, Abhay Deol posts a picture of him chilling in the pool, having a good time.
And it's sometimes like if like one of us, mostly me, is like spiraling, he'll be like, "Hey, check this out." I think all of you all should calm down because like I'm super chill right now.
I know anybody starts getting anxious or losing it, I'll be like, be jealous. Look where I'm at. And that humor usually gets people to calm down. They're like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, Karanvir roll the ball for the next question. What are the disadvantages or the difficulties that come with marketing a movie during the lockdown and when you cannot step out of your house?
Well, fortunately, we have a great marketing team that's led by Itai Doshin Media. I think Tanya and Debbie, they are the ones who are leading our marketing. And, thankfully, I mean, I think the biggest plus point and the biggest advantage we have as a group is that we all have very similar wavelengths. So the ideas that we all think of and the things that we want to do with the film, in like a similar zone in terms of what would really help the film. So I think in that sense it's been easy. And I mean I haven't. This is my first film, so I don't know much about marketing. I think Abhay Deol would answer that question better. So for me, whatever I've done till now is marketing. So this is what.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Abhay, as a producer, what are the hurdles you had to cross to market this film during the lockdown?
Well, I've always shied away from marketing. Early in my career, I used to have a really strong extreme stand, which was the work to speak for itself. Why am I being called to market? And of course, over time, I realized that you always have to find a balance. So I kind of accepted that, and I've been pretty open with marketing the last few movies that I did. This time with the lockdown, it actually made it even easier because I'm not, as I said, somebody who jumps to go into marketing. So the fact that I didn't have to leave the house, I could do it from home, and there was a system in place. So in fact, when we started our conversation, I was going to tell Yash and Karan that I have done marketing where I have lost my voice by the end of the day, literally.
Okay.
And other actors have, because you do one interview after another, and it goes on for hours, like 8 to 10 hours a day. So at least all of that has not happened in this case. Everybody's on a Zoom call, and I suppose you put things in context. While there might be certain difficulties to market, the fact that we have a pandemic going on and there's people going through all sorts of stuff, this is hardly an issue, you know. So it's not been bad at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of something Ricky Gervais said recently. He said he was not very interested in doing interviews earlier, but during the lockdown he has ended up doing more video interviews, and he's more comfortable wearing just the pajamas and sitting in front of the Zoom app. Is that the same with you? Are you more comfortable with this setup?
I think it's for me. It was the place I came from, which was do not the work should just for itself. I was just on one extreme. I think I grew up around fame because I saw it with my family. I saw how intrusive things got, and if I'm written about that, I just didn't want to do it. So it wasn't about being comfortably dressed that I'd enjoy it more doing from home. It was that I don't want to do it. So now that I came halfway, where I realized, no, you know, especially today, it's a different world, and it's not entirely bad, you know. So whether I was good now, whether I'll be out or at home, it doesn't make a difference to me. I would just say this, that yes, I can do one in my pajamas now, and nobody want to take my job. And I've come to that point in my life where I like to dress up. So I wish this had happened 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
call it like rookie enthusiasm, but like I honestly really miss being out and meeting people and dressing up because I just got good at it. Like he said, like he enjoys it now. So I wish we could have done that. And plus, I had these big imaginations as soon as we knew that we were gonna be on Netflix. In my head, we were doing big premieres and meeting all these people, and we were superstars. And I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but I knew at least a thoda going out and interacting with people would have happened.
Well,
Like right
Netflix,
now, most
to
of
address that point of yours, Yash, I don't mean to cut you off. But with Netflix, when I did Chopsticks, with Netflix, it was damn easy. They had one venue, everybody came to that venue. You didn't have to go from studio to another, and it was very chill. But yes, there was a good amount of interaction.
yeah,
Sorry, go on.
and
Yeah. You were saying something big, like you were expecting something, dressing up and
it's not your fault. I just have a bad
the whole
memory.
dressing up and going
okay.
out.
You have the
going
memory
out,
of Bunty
very
right now.
I should not put it
Damn
off.
it!
Oh no,
No,
goldfish have good memory. Sorry, I'm saying the opposite.
no. They have no goldfish. Have like 15 minutes ka memory.
Okay, yes, you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And yeah, Netflix
that's
has
I'm a goldfish.
Netflix has the best PR I guess, because every time I'm on interviewing for Netflix, like it is so easy and quick and very professional. I also love like working with them.
Yeah, but you must have
Yeah.
done, right? It's
Yeah,
organized. You just come to this
very,
one venue, everybody has
yeah,
their slot, and
yeah,
boom, boom, you're done.
yeah. The most
That's
organized
kind of fun.
like ever. So, how did the movie land on
Yeah.
Netflix, by the way?
How did we land up on Netflix?
Yeah, was it
Well,
acquired? Was
I
it
mean,
commissioned?
we were going to go theatrical, but when the virus hit, we were in chats with Netflix as it is. So they were going to acquire it. We would have done a licensing deal of both theatrical and the platform. And then
Okay,
we went straight to the platform. They liked the film, so they acquired it.
okay.
Yes. And I mean, it's that. So they'll do all sorts, right? They will do the mainstream, but they'll also do the experimental. And I'm just so glad that they're there as a platform, because I don't think we would have gotten a release anywhere else.
I remember what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, say it,
Yes,
say
yes.
it.
Please continue.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say that right now a lot of our response is just on our phones, and that's really like messing with my head because it's like I know there are lots of people watching, but because they're on my phone, it it doesn't feel as big as it would have if we had actually ran into somebody on the streets, or like while you were shopping, or if while you were just doing even interviews. Like I don't necessarily miss the marketing, but I miss being out in the world and then just like having life just be like, hey, this
Okay.
happened to you, like constant like surprise reminders.
You
That's
miss
what I
Yeah.
being
was
a
saying.
star, basically.
Not a star, I miss being loved and seeing, looking at the faces
Oh,
of the people who love me.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh,
We love you, Yash.
when you get
Look at
out,
our
when you get
faces.
out, it'll still happen a few months down the line. People will see like,
Okay.
hey, good work in that
Yeah,
film of
and
yours. They will
we're
come
not
in and
gonna hug. We'll be like, hey, hi, thanks. Stay away
you
from
really good in
me.
that movie. And then you're like, yeah, yeah, what movie?
Okay. So
And then they
I
call.
absolutely enjoyed the movie. I loved it. I'm still tripping on some of the jokes. Like that one joke where he's Oscar Wilde, you look like him. I don't know why I'm just tripping on that joke since morning. I overly enjoyed it. But also, this script is sort of non-conventional, and it would take a certain amount of uh, trust towards the director and the vision in director's vision to say yes to it. What made you all say? What made you all come on board for the movie? Let's start with Yashaswini.
So when I think it's a funny story for me at least. I was actually coming back from a very badly done audition. I think I was coming back from the Excel studio. I think I'd auditioned for Made in Heaven, one of the other characters. And I did a bad job and I was sulking in the cab and I suddenly got a call from Nishrin. And she's like, hey, we've seen, just like we saw your video on YouTube with you with the ukulele and we're actually casting for a film. It got two kids who just like skip school and have this wonderfully weird adventurous day. And they were sort of going for a before sunrise kind of vibe. And I was absolutely sold because she said Before Sunrise, which is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen. And she said it was a film about two kids. And like I wish I had more Indian content to watch when I was younger, where it like more not fantasy necessarily, but like fiction like that, where fun things can happen, magic can happen in a regular day, and adventures can happen. And uh, and then they just sent me the script. They said read the script, and it just felt like such a novel thing to do. And then I met Megha directly, and then we spoke, and it was just like on vibe. We just clicked, and I wanted to do it from the get go, right? Like as soon as it's just such a well written, weird story, and my brain refuses to grow up. So it felt like the most natural thing for me to do.
Okay. And Karanveer.
Well, this film has been a game changer for me. I was in Australia. My family stays in Melbourne. So, and this is the time, this is like 4 years back. And before that, I used to do a lot of theater, basically a lot of independent theater in Melbourne, fringe festivals and stuff like that. And for me, the next step was to pursue my master's in theater. And I got finalized in the last round of auditions for the National Institute of Dramatic Arts, Sydney, but I didn't get. Okay, so that's what my second option is going to be. Okay, I'm going to go to Delhi and run the National School of Drama and do that for the next 3 4 years. I've made it to the final list, but but subsequently, what happened was Guy Ritchie's Aladdin, which Tess Joseph was cast, and I had to sing for that. And Tess thinks that I did a awful job, but I think I was really good at it. Uh, when I came back to Melbourne, I was quite disappointed. I thought I'll probably act. I thought I'll do media and communication, and I got my. And just this one fine day, I get a call from Nishrin saying, "Ended your name." She's name. And I remember I was just in washing dishes. And I'm there. It was to me was very spiritual moment, if you can say it, because it was so unexpected, and I was in a different continent doing something completely uh, away from the world of Bollywood or Mumbai or acting. And I just got a call. I auditioned for it. Then again, when I read the script, I just bought into that world, that Megha and Shreya had written. Like it was like going into an amusement park with all these joy rides and like fun and candies and stuff like that. And I was like, this is so cool. And I read the script. I know I was on a flight to Mumbai, so I like just changed from after that one audition for me. So I'm glad I read that script and I got selected. So yeah.
Okay. And Abhay, what made you come on board for as a producer and also as an actor?
Well, I mean, I attract these sorts, no, since now the last 15.
That's the shortest answer.
So I met Megha. She presented a script to me that she wanted to use and act in. And I said, I don't know about the acting, but I'll help you get this made. And that's when I brought in Film Caravan, who really loved it, took it on, and took it upon themselves to get this film made. Um, I, of course, was happy to act because I had faith in the script, and my partnership with Film Caravan is solid. And yeah, it for me now, my deciding factor on movies is um, good and bad all depends once a film is made. And even once a film is made, whether it's beautiful or ugly, it sometimes is just in the eyes of the beholder. So I just focus on the fact that is it authentic? Is it being true to itself? And that's all that matters, the authenticity. The rest is, it's not up to you because you can make a good product, it could check all the boxes. And like I take my film Manorma's example, you would have 60 cinemas and 25 lakhs of marketing, and nobody will know the film is out.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, now I still go for those films that are authentic, that don't stick to Bollywood formula, and the rest I just put in all the effort to put in the right people together. And now here we are marketing the movie.
Okay. So that was actually my next question. Do you think Manorama Six Feet Under would have done way better if it had released at the time of OTT platforms?
Well, it'll only be speculation, but the fact that it had 60 cinemas and 25 lakhs of marketing, even in 2007, that's bad. 6 or 7 whenever it came out. So I'm not saying Manorama would have been a huge hit back then, but it would have made its money for sure. But the Shemaru didn't have the money or the power or the clout. I don't know whether they had faith in the film or not, but I definitely don't think they had the clout because why else would you let it go? Nobody knew that the film was playing in the cinemas, and that for me was the first time because I was also just learning, and that to me was like, oh, okay. See, it's not just about because you hear about films not doing well, you presume they're not good, or you presume that they're ahead of their time. But then to experience this, where if no one knows it's out, who's going to watch it? Who's going to know? And then people, of course, I was vindicated because over the years, people kept saying, "Oh my God, this film, when did it come out? I loved it. I saw it on DVD." And even Shemaru was proud of it after that.
Yeah.
So then
Okay.
I realized that no, it's always there, but awareness needs to be there. It needs to reach.
Yeah. Yashaswini and Karanvi, what spoke about the character to the most? How different or similar to your characters you play are you guys in real life?
Uh, I'm not. Sorry,
You're
I'm not really. Sorry.
You're not 15.
Yeah. First of all, excuse me, but I'm also not as brave and forthright and strong-headed as Vivek. I'm quite a timid and ill-tempered. Ill-tempered, maybe we both have in common, just like short-temperedness of some kind. But yeah, I'm not as smart. I wasn't as smart or strongly opinionated as Vivek. I didn't have as much courage to do the things that she did, which is why I had a very basic childhood. I didn't have any great adventures. I bunked quite a bit, but like I didn't skip school. The most adventurous things I did as a child, my mom had this strict rule that you cannot travel anywhere by yourself. She did not let us go out with friends or like hanging out in the school in the building compound was the max, and I didn't go for tuitions or anything. So going in the rickshaw was not allowed by myself. Even if I was with a friend after school activities, the friend had to drop me first, irrespective of whether their house was between me and my school. They had to drop me first and then go home. Like she was that strict. So the most adventurous things I did was let the friend go by themselves and like do the rest of the journey by myself and not tell my mom. And that would feel like अरे 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 क्या कर दिया भाई आज तो इतना झूठ हर दिन. So yeah.
Okay. Did you get to live those adventures through this character maybe? Do you guys do that?
Yeah,
Do you guys
through
live your
all
life
my
through characters?
characters. I feel like that's why acting found me, because God felt like I was very deprived of adventure, and they said, she deserves it. Let her have fun. So then I got to do the weirdest things with the odd, especially, and then with all my characters so far, like I wouldn't go to a protest, but then I got to like sort of experience that with Delhi crime, having a strong political opinion. I had never like watered plants. That was the epitome of like living new things. Like in Dear Zindagi, there was a shot where I was supposed to water a plant and I didn't know how to work that thing. So I'm creating a very bad image of myself right
No,
now.
this is very cute. This is
But
very cute.
I really live through my characters.
Okay. Karanvi, you did you connect with
Yeah,
the
I
character?
mean, of course. I mean, Ashwin is he's quite a straightforward guy. He's not that odd as Vivek is in terms of his being. I mean, Vivek obviously has a lot of strong opinions, and Ashwin is just this guy who wants to get a scholarship and get out of India and study abroad. So that so I mean, I could connect with his. He's practical and he's methodical, and he sees the world with one lens. But I mean, the biggest oddity that he has is his relationship, which I mean, I think that's the only odd thing that Ashwin really has as a character. So there was a lot that I could connect with. But I think more than the character in this film, it was the world that Megha created. That whimsical fantasy kind
Yeah.
of world. And even though I play someone who's quite straightforward, I had to bring a lightness to my performance so that it doesn't seem serious or broody in any sense. So that was the fun part for me, and that's the part that I had that I enjoyed the most while performing.
Okay. Abhay, do you sometimes live your life through characters, the life you wanted to live? Maybe has that happened ever?
Do I live through my characters?
Yeah, like the things like
Um,
for
no,
okay.
like what?
Like Yashaswini like, got to have this adventurous life through her characters. Has some sort of this thing happened to you?
Well, I've been really fortunate. I've actually lived my life and done exactly what I wanted to do. If I want an adventure, I go on one. If I don't, I don't go on one. So I kind of just if I wanted, I go for it. I take it.
Okay.
I see it.
Yes. No,
I
I'm
like
not
it.
through.
I want it. I got.
If I wanted,
Sorry,
I
that's
tried. Classes.
yeah. Because
um,
my eyes are looking very puffy. So
so halfway through the interview, you pulled up. Um,
yeah.
but no, I don't think I look at my films to give me adventure. I love what I do, so work is never work as such for me. And I'm really happy that I was able to earn a living and make a career out of the thing I love to do. But I still sometimes yearn for adventure, away from attention and the cameras and the whatnot. Be anonymous, be with a bunch of friends. Go out, get wasted sometimes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you know, yeah.
So this is a question to Yashaswini and Kanvi. What is the oddest audition you have been to ever?
There are
Oh.
quite a few, and like, they've been like odd as an odd. Like, I wouldn't obviously name the platform or the creators of the show, but then they found they found something really amusing about a guy running naked and committing suicide, and that was meant to be like a hilarious thing in that show. And they wanted me to audition for that guy, and they were literally cracking up while they were narrating the story or the character bio for me. They're like, okay, he's running naked, and he's done this to a girl, and then he just commits suicide, and and life's such a funny story. And that was I mean, I ran out of that audition as fast as I could.
You run out naked.
Sorry,
Naked
not naked,
is what he
not
asked.
naked. No, no.
Running.
I
Yeah.
mean, if I would have been there longer, I probably would have. But thankfully, that didn't happen. So yeah, there have been a lot of odd auditions. Yeah, but this is definitely at the top of my list.
Okay. And you, Yashaswini?
I don't remember. I'm sure I had like a very odd audition, but I can't remember right now. But one that popped into my head was I think I was auditioning for a show, and no, it was a film, and they had like they didn't want to disclose the script, but they knew that the character had a very intense confrontation with the protagonist, and they wanted to see how aggressive or like how passionate and loud I could get. So they made me do Alia Bhatt's entire monologue from Urta Punjab when she confronts Shahid Kapoor, and it's not really weird, odd, but like people were actually like knocking on the door, checking if everything was okay because I was like screaming and like it sounded very violent what was happening. So that was like it. It felt odd that this was a normal thing to do when you're an actor, that you have such situations where you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I really okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My last question is to Abhay. How do you think the world of cinema would change going forward after this pandemic? From the viewpoint of a person who has been in the industry for the longest time and as a producer, how would you say the world is going to change?
How the world is going to change, or how the
World of
cinema
cinema. How cinema is going to change? How the industry is going to evolve?
is going to change? Well, I mean, right now nobody knows for certain, but it does look like everything is going to change, and that's going to have an impact on all industries. And on the surface, one could say, "Oh, if we can never move around without protective gear, then films obviously will reflect reality, right?" At least some of them do, and so you'd have actors covered up because that's how. If everyday life becomes like that, then that's going to be captured. The theaters, though I don't think it'll go to that extreme, but I do believe that the cinemas will take a while before they open up. Anything that requires people to get together in a crowd will not start up very soon. And so I would imagine digital platforms would be the way to go to release your movies. I think the theaters will open in phases with social distancing and the whatnot. Um, so there is going to be some amount of adjustment to be done there. We're just lucky we have technology and we can still make movies. But when do we start making movies? That is also the big question.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, that would be all from my side. This meeting is about to end because I'm on the basic plan right now. So, thank you so much for talking to me. It was lovely,
You're
and it's
welcome.
a wonderful movie. I genuinely enjoyed it a lot. I love such movies, such quirky, out of the box films, and I think more of such movies need to be made for people like me. And so, thank you so much.
You're
Thank you.
Hey,
welcome.
Thank
thank
you so
you,
much for
thank
having
you.
us.